If you're talking to the next generation of bleeders right now, you get an opportunity to share one one message to them. What would that be right now?
Excellent question, and I don't even have to think about this. I already know.
All right, Jay, welcome to the LAX podcast, man. I'm so happy to have you on the show today. You and I have been friends for a long time. It seems like now, probably, I would say 6 or 7 years.
About that now. Yeah.
Yeah. And, we've gone through so much, from creating the Hemo Life group and getting an opportunity to travel and talk. And just, we've constantly pushed each other with our endeavors. And I think that's what I really appreciate about our relationship is that we can encourage each other to find fulfillment in life and to just chase after our goals, no matter how crazy they may seem. And so I think it's awesome to have that friendship with you, man. But welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's great to be on here.
Yeah, man. So listen, I think that a lot of people are already going to know about you. I mean, there's going to be some that don't, but I think there's a big group of people that do know Jay Garman because of Hemo Life and because of how you've branched off and you've kind of found your own thing. And, I think, and you came out of nowhere and you started posting all kinds of stuff about curing hemophilia with your mind. And listen, man, you came to me with it. And I'm always going to be that person who's like, dude, if this is where your heart is, if this is where your mind is, then go after it, man. Like, I encourage that. But I'm sure you've gotten a lot of backlash or a lot of negative feedback by going out there and posting things that kind of seem lucrative, So explain the process a little bit about, your passion right now, your passion project, the things that you're working on, and your kind of hopes and futures, your hopes and dreams with this project.
Well, the last year, ever since the pandemic started, the whole Corona deal, it changed the face of the entire world. It changed the state of that. It changed the way we run the economy. It's changed so much about the way we think and see things. I use that time to go more into my mind. And I've always had thoughts that nothing is impossible. Impossible is just a 4-letter word with a meaning to it, which we can choose whatever meaning we want to with that word. It doesn't need to mean what the rest of the world thinks it means. We can associate it to whatever we please. I just associate it to where there is nothing that is impossible. There's basically no need to think anything is impossible. That only restricts and limits what you're capable of. So what I'm doing right now, I've gotten real passionate about transformation, and my area of transformation is trying to heal the body with the mind. Ever since I was a kid, I was raised in a religious household where, of course, you are taught you are made in the image of God. I don't know how the rest of the world sees that, but when I hear that we're made in the image of God, whether God is real or not, whatever deity that created this existence, we are made in that image. So even body, mind, and soul, not just our body. No, we look the same. Cool. No, we have the potential to be God itself. That's the power the divinity has bestowed within us, hidden within our own brains. And there's a lot of science proving this to be true, where people these days are beginning to heal their bodies with their minds of cancers, tumors, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, lupus. I've heard about so much. I've never heard anybody mention or document hemophilia, though. So I just did more research into this topic more and more. And I discovered that, this is very, very possible to at least manage this condition by thought alone. Not a cure, sure, but cure sure in the future for me, yes. But right now, I can manage this condition by thought alone. And there's there's a lot of science to explain why we can do this.
Yeah, man. And like, it's not like you're trying to reinvent the wheel, because essentially there's people out there already, professionals out there doing studies. And so this isn't like, oh, this is just crazy Jay speaking. It's like, no, this is Jay looking at other respected professionals in other industries who are curing things, like you said, cancer and other disorders. And it's you just kind of being like, hey, like, let's check out this concept. Let's see
Exactly.
what this is really all about, and then testing it. Like, you have to test it on yourself. And I think that you're kind of going down that journey right now, as you've done the studying. You feel in your heart and soul that, hey, this is real, and this can help a lot of people in our community for generations to come. And I think that it's an honorable endeavor. And, I think that when you get backlash from people, then it's almost a sign that you're doing something great. If you're not getting backlash, if you're not getting hate or, negative feedback, then you're not dreaming big enough. So I admire you for taking this on and having such a good purpose with it, because, you know what it feels like to suffer from a chronic condition. And that's not something that
A lot
you
of
would.
people don't understand that. A lot of
Yeah.
people, I feel, don't really understand. I'm there too. I've been there too. I'm 36 years old. I've gone 36 years, but hemophilia experiences, hemophilia pain, suffering, depression, thoughts of suicide, depression for years, relationships going bad because of depression. So
This
I've
isn't something
experienced.
that we would wish on our worst enemies. And so I think it's awesome that you're like, hey, I've gone through this. I know what it feels like. I want the next generation to be healthier and to live more fulfilling lives. So I think that's amazing, man. Just from our personal experience, I've had thoughts of depression I've had depression and thoughts of suicide. And I know you have, and, we have had phone calls together, where you're just like, man, dude, LA, I'm done, man. Like,
Yeah.
and it's real, man. And it's like, when you get to that low level, that's when you are, sometimes when you get to rock bottom, that's when you start finding those answers and searching for those answers. And
Right.
sometimes I think it's awesome that you have taken your adversity that you've gone through and said, you know what, like, what are the answers though? Not give up, not throw in the towel, but be like,
Yeah.
this sucks. There's a better way. What is it? So
Exactly.
So with that being said, man, who are some of the individuals that you have studied and followed, and what does their work look like? Where can people find some of their content?
The biggest name that I know right now, his name is Dr. Joe Dispenza. He has a
Mm-hmm.
site, drjoedispenza.com. This
Mm-hmm.
guy's work is all about discovering how the brain has the neurochemical setup to produce any chemical we need, hormone, if you will, to sprout health and wellness within our body by thought alone. And he's actually gone deep into the science to prove how our emotions can produce different chemicals within our brain to upregulate or downregulate genes.
Mm-hmm.
And our body has about 24,000 genes, and roughly, I think it's around 200,000 proteins, and genes make proteins. Hemophilia is a protein-based condition. Our factor VIII is a protein. Hamster proteins is why we were able to treat in the first place. So it's a protein-based thing.
Mm-hmm.
Once I learned that we can upregulate our genes. Yes, I do know how crazy and absurd this sounds. Oh, of course, who would have thought meditation was the way to heal your body? Who'd have thunk it? I've gotten those reactions a whole bunch. But once I learned that this is real, this is true, I actually saw and read and studied the science behind it. I started to put my mind to it, my awareness on it, to actually begin to control every aspect of my state of being, the way I think, the way I act, the way I feel, also the way I react to things and how long I react to things.
Yeah.
need to react. That reaction always produces a negative side
Mhm.
effect within yourself to eventually make you, stressed, which causes you to be sick. We all know that stress kills. So
Mhm.
we already know it. If we have thoughts and feelings of stress, which are
Mhm.
those are just thoughts.
Yeah.
By thought alone, with those thoughts, we can make ourselves sick. It's been explained we can
Mhm.
stress ourselves to death.
Yeah.
So by thought alone, we can kill ourselves. That's what that
Mhm.
implies.
Yeah.
So on the opposite end of the spectrum, we can heal ourselves by thought alone too. Science has shown be feelings of abundance, love, joy, gratitude actually upregulate our
Mhm.
genes for health. While on the opposite end, stress creates
Mhm.
disease, tumors, can cancers, and make us sick.
Yeah.
And it seems ridiculous, yes, but it's so easy. It's so damn easy. All you have to do is control your emotions 100%. That sounds easy, but people don't really pay attention to it. They don't really pay attention to how
Yeah.
much they think or what they think, how much they think of
Mhm.
it, how they react to it.
Mhm.
It's all conditioning within our brain. Our brains are the
Mhm.
most powerful biological supercomputer known to man
Yeah.
in existence. There's
Yeah.
no computer on this planet, no supercomputer, no quantum computer on this planet that can do what our minds are capable of.
Yeah.
Our minds are capable of healing our body by thought alone. Telekinesis, remote
Mhm.
viewing, astral projection. All these things are to be
Mhm.
seen on the mainstream as not true, phony, hogwash science fiction. But
Mhm.
I also learned for a long time. I've known for a long, long time. Research that our own government has op, operations where they teach our soldiers how to use their mind
Mhm.
to astral project or remote view. If you guys don't know what remote viewing is, it's the
Mhm.
process of going within your brain to visually see where your enemies are at. You can use your brain alone and physically send your mind there to know where they are. Our government has done research on this. If it's not real, if it's phony, if it's hogwash, why are
Yeah.
the world's governments spending billions of dollars into this? And I
Yeah.
just think more and more and more, well, I don't have to think the way the rest of the world thinks.
Mhm.
There is no magical rule. There's no magical law that says
Mhm.
I have to think the way you think. I
Yeah.
don't have to decipher the rest of the world, the rest of reality, the way everybody else does. There's no rule saying you have to
Mhm.
do this.
Yeah.
So I just choose to think the way I think, and it's been helping my health out quite a bit. I just expand my thoughts more. Nothing is impossible. I just keep grow, growing on it, and I don't
Mhm.
limit myself at all. I don't give myself any room for any limitation at all, because that's when I'm just going
Yeah.
to stop and get it that mental
Mhm.
plateau effect. Even in working out, you experience that plateau effect. You
Mhm.
have to begin to change your routines, work out new muscles in a new
Yeah.
way. Well, your brain is the same thing. Your brain's a muscle.
Yeah.
Use your brain in a new way. How do you use your brain in a new way? You think differently. You
Mhm.
have different thoughts, different feelings, different reactions, different
Yeah.
different actions,
Yeah.
and then it
So, dude,
changes your body.
I really feel like our journey is very congruent with each other because we just have two different ways of spreading this knowledge, but
Yeah,
it is pretty much everything that you have said is pretty much the same practices that I do every single day. And I think, when you have a chronic disorder, you start spiraling downhill. And, a lot of us fall into that trap because it's hard. We're going through pain. We're going through all these adverse situations and it's hard to control. And I think the biggest thing that you're saying is you got to a point where you had to take back control. And you did that with being intentional with your actions, intentional with the habits that you were developing, intentional about your thoughts and your routines. And I think that that is also the message that I am trying to personally send to people. And, throughout my journey, working within the bleeding disorder community, I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of young adults who are in severe depression. And I've always really wanted to help them out. I'm like, man, like people are suffering and they don't know how to get out. They don't know, they can't find the light at the end of the tunnel. They wake up every single day and all they see is darkness. And what my mission is right now is to create a framework that is a proven framework that people can implement when they find themselves in that position, and they can take these daily steps to eventually find that light at the end of the tunnel, to live a fulfilling life full of energy and full of joy and happiness, despite the condition that we're living with. And it's taken a lot of work, but it's possible. And these are things, this is a very important message to me. So I love the fact that you're doing the same, literally everything that you're saying. It seems like the same stuff that I'm doing, except you're taking an approach of like I'm going to cure hemophilia, and you're like saying all these outlandish things, it seems like. And so people are kind of like deflecting from that, being like, whoa, Jay, like chill out, settle down, buddy. And I'm kind of looking at it from just like, I'm doing the same exact stuff you're doing it, but I'm saying things like, hey, let's just, your journey to get out of depression, it isn't this huge step. It isn't this massive thing that needs to be done. It's these little consistent things that need to be done on a daily basis. And, it starts with being intentional. And, I'm, if you see the sign behind me, it says gratitude.
Grateful.
It says gratitude. Oh, grateful. And I've got a book right here, and every single day it's filled out. Every single day is filled out. And the very first thing that I do every single morning is I write thankfulness, and I write down everything that I am genuinely thankful for that day before I start my day, because I want to be intentional with my day. I want to set up my day for success. I want to have the right mindset, the right energy, and I want to wake up and start my day with a thankful heart, a grateful heart, grateful mentality. And then right after I write down what I'm thankful for, I write down my values. What do I stand for? What's my mission? What's my purpose? And I remind myself of those, because, if we don't remind ourselves of these things, we're doing, like you said, we're repeating the same thoughts. We're repeating the same actions over and over and over again. Well, what if you stop and say, are my actions truly aligned with my values? Like when I react to somebody, is that true? Did I react to that person in a way that, is respectful and caring and, the best approach, so it's like every morning, if you need to prime your mind and your heart for all these situations that are going to arise, so that you're intentional, that you are handling it the way that the best version of you would handle it.
Yes.
And the power that I want to talk about real quick is just that it seems like such an easy thing to do, by waking up every day and writing down what you're thankful for and grateful for and priming your day and being intentional. But like, it's a life changer. It's a game changer. And like you said, it increases your happiness, your joy. It helps you cope with pain better, helps you cope with your relationships better, and just ultimately creates a better version of you. Because I feel like as people who are suffering from a chronic disorder, we have to take accountability and responsibility for our relationships and our life. The world isn't going to give us this handicap card and say, here, it's okay to be a jerk today. It's okay to treat people like shit today. It's, you're not going to get a first place trophy. We're not going to write you a check for $1 million. It's like, you're going to have to earn it just like everyone else. And it's going to be harder. I'm sorry. It sucks.
Truth, but
it's true. But it's going to be harder. So you either take accountability for it now and try to achieve your dreams, or you don't. But so that being said, I explained a little bit about like what my practices are. What are some of your daily practices that you've learned now that are helping you with your mission?
A lot of what I do is neuro-linguistic programming, taking words, meanings, and associations and creating different links within your brain of what all they mean. So every single day, I try every single minute of every single day to change something within my brain, change the association, the meaning, the definition of some feeling experience that I've had, to change it to mean something else. You change it to mean something else, you feel something else. Therefore, it changes your biochemical makeup.
So do you focus on the negative thoughts? Like if you catch yourself having a negative association with a word, is that something that is that how you kind of work on things?
Constantly. I always say something and then my brain goes, wait, that is actually really terrible to think, really terrible to say. If I really think about what I just said, it's implying what I don't want. So if I see that, it's called metacognition, to be aware of, be aware that you're aware. Think about what you're thinking about, to actually control your state of being completely. So neuro-linguistic programming to reassociate things, and a lot of meditation too. I don't meditate as much as I should. I know that 100%. But what I have done, I've had incredible experiences where it's been 4 months and I haven't had to take my meds. I haven't had to inject a needle in my arm. The feeling of that feels so damn good. Been off all factor products for 4 months. No bleeds, no factor, no nothing. Just doing what I'm doing. And
because so like you're taking these, but how are you taking these methods and then applying it to your body not having bleeds? Like I that's one part I don't understand.
That's where the science comes into play. When you control your emotions more, your emotions can either upregulate or downregulate your genes. When your genes are downregulated, cheaper proteins are being made. When you're upregulating your genes with, your thoughts and feelings and your intention of gratitude, thankfulness, it actually it produces more produces proteins that are upregulated, stronger proteins than emotions of stress. So when you're upregulating your proteins with your emotion and your intention, what you have to do when you're in a meditative state, to get into the meditative process is difficult, harder to explain. I can't say I get it 100% yet, but what I have experienced and what I have done seems to work quite well. So within that meditative process, you have to go deep and just quit thinking about everything and just feel and have that intention and that emotion of what you would feel like as if it were already come to pass. So I go into a meditative state and I try to just cut everything else out. And I think and solely feel about what it would feel like, what life would feel like, what my body would feel like, what my mind, what my relationships would, what every aspect of my life would be like if I didn't have this condition, if what I'm trying to do already came to pass. There's no magical law that says I can't be grateful for a future experience. I can choose to be grateful about whatever I want. So it's a future experience not come to pass yet, but I can be grateful to know that's going to be there.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I think that's really powerful stuff. And, I wish it would, I wish you luck on this journey, but I think it's going to be a long journey for you in order to, because I think that you're in a stage now where I was too, like when I first started this, and I'm still in that stage, is where I'm implementing it first. A lot of people can go read something or go watch a video and then regurgitate the information, but it's different if you actually implement it, you put the time in and you do it on yourself. And, you have to prove it. You have to prove it that way and then talk from it on a level of, hey, this is what I've done. This is how it's worked for me. And, it could work for you as well.
Sure.
And that's for the past 6 years, dude, I've been working on this stuff, but I kept my mouth shut because I'm not the professional. I'm not the expert yet, but I'm going to lead by example. And I'm going to make it to where one day you can't ignore it. One day you're gonna have to stop and acknowledge me. I'm not going to
Exactly.
force you.
Yep.
I'm not going to force you to do it now. I'm not going to spit the information in your face, but one day you're going to have to acknowledge me, and you're going to want to, and then you're going to want to know how I did it. And I think I see the same thing with you. And I truly believe in what you're doing. I'm not going to lie, dude. I've had people contact me and be like, have you seen the bullshit Jay's been posting? Like, and I'm like, and I'm going to tell you something, dude. I'm a real person. I'm not a two-faced person. And I answer everything the way that I would normally answer it. And I was like, yeah, dude, I've seen it. And I stuck up for you. And just like I'm doing now, I do it behind the scenes. And I'm just like, listen, I'm never going to be that person who's like, Jay, you're full of shit. It can't be done. You're an idiot. I'm like, I will never, when I'm dead and gone, I do not want to be that one person who told you couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? What is it? How is it worth it to bring someone down? You know what I'm saying? Like what does that do for you? So even if maybe you don't fully believe in it, like, don't be that person. Be the person who's uplifting, supporting, caring, and being like, you know what, Jay, like, that's awesome, man. And if you can, I hope you can do it. You know, I might not believe it, but if I don't believe it, doesn't mean I have to bring you down. But but I do happen to believe that stuff like that is capable. I do happen to believe that our minds are extremely powerful. And I've used being intentional and practicing new habits and creating new skills to change my life. And I think that, you know, it's exciting what you're doing. So, but I just wanted to let you know, man, I've had your back. So people have tried to say you're crazy. And I'm like, dude, I was like, you don't know that. Like, I stick up for you. I'm like, dude, you don't know that. Like, how do you know? Like, but it's so easy for people to say that, you know?
It is. It's easy for them to say it's not true. It's lies, hogwash. It's easy for them to limit themselves. It's easy for them to say no. Just quit thinking about it. Just stop. It's easy for them to just stop and quit and not progress on. It's not easy for me to just quit and stop. I want to keep thinking about this. I'm not pressuring it upon anybody else, so therefore I'm not endangering anybody else.
But I would just, my only advice, and I think I've told you, is like, you know, from what I've learned, is come at it from a perspective of, you know, when you are making your post, you should come at it in an angle of like, I tried this and this is what happened. This is my experience. And I have been seeing these results. This is my belief. And because of my belief, this is happening to me. I think that it comes across very debatable when you say things, just make statements, you know, when you're just like, you know,
it does.
Like, do you believe, like, you know, if you start saying stuff like, do you believe in God? Do you believe God can cure you? Do you like, I think, like I said, I just wouldn't question anyone's beliefs, you know, about Jesus, God. I mean, because once you get personal or political, any of that stuff, then it just goes crazy and it defeats the purpose of what you're truly trying to accomplish.
Can I explain one thing about my whole God thing? I only do that because it's logically okay within this society, within this world, to pray to God to be healed and have full belief, full faith that God can heal you. That's logically okay. That's something that cannot be 100% proven. You can come down here and cure you. That's a logical thought, even though it can't be proven. God can't be proven nor disproven. Everybody has to come to that logical conclusion because, can we see that? No. So on that aspect, whether God's real or not, we have this potential still.
No, I get it, man, for sure.
If we can pray to God and be healed, why can't we have the logical thought of healing our body by thought alone? When it comes down to it, when you're praying to God, you're going into a deep meditative state with a clear intention when you speak to God to try to get what you desire. So you're just putting those thoughts into a new association.
My whole thing is that, you know, you hear it from the most successful people in the world. They say to become an expert or the master in something, you need to put in 10 years or I think they say, or 10,000 hours or something like that, you know, something like that. And so it's like, so when you're not the expert but you're just so passionate about it, I would go into it less with, questioning people's thoughts. And I would go into it more of, this is what I did today on my journey to cure this. You know what I'm saying? This week I woke up and I practiced these things and I got this result. And I would stick strong to that. I would document your journey and I would stick strong to your practices, how it's affected your life, showing people the difference that it's made for you, and let people get encouraged and inspired by the changes that they truly see in you, not by the words that are coming out of your mouth, but the true presence of Jay Garman. And I think that that'd be my advice moving forward. But I mean, you can completely do whatever you want. But I think that when you put in your time and you stay consistent to it, and in 10 years, when Jay Garman's still talking about this and he's actually come up with the framework and you've completely changed your life and you know how to change other people's lives, then it's a whole new ball game, man. Then it's, but I think that there's a time frame and there's levels to what we're trying to achieve. But I know from your perspective, I'm speaking from experience, because you get so passionate and excited and you want to share that, but almost by you sharing that, you're looking for acceptance, and it's like, I think once you get to the point of when you're like, you know what, I don't care what they think. I don't care what they think, because this is my mission. God didn't get, I look at it like, God didn't give you my vision. I'm sorry. He didn't give you my purpose. I don't need you to understand. I don't have to share it anymore, because I don't want you to understand. I don't care. If you don't understand, then great. You're not supposed to have what I'm not supposed to have your vision. You got your vision. Jay Garman gets his vision. Who cares if people don't see it? They're not supposed to. So, but I love you, man. And I appreciate you. And I can't wait to see, what's going to come next. And I really, based off of my experience of knowing you, this is a genuine project for you. You have struggled. You have struggled. You've struggled a lot with this disorder and finding your purpose and your calling. And I've never seen you glow like this, as happy as you are right now. And so if the people listening right now could take one thing, is take my word, whatever Jay is doing, he is changing. I have seen your evolution already. And the fact that you're happy and that you're glowing like this, and that, you're finding so much fulfillment in this, it makes me happy and excited, man, because I had that conversation with you when you wanted to end it all,
a few times. Yes.
So this is a version of you that I support, I love. And, I hope when people watch this and listen to this, they give you that same respect back and be like, hey, because I'm telling you, this has, whatever you are doing, it's doing something positive for you. And in return, it's going to be better for the community, for your family, your friends, your relationships. And I think you have a lot to teach people. There's going to be a lot to learn from you now and then coming up in the future. I want you to keep on sharing your experience, man.
I do want to announce, I know I'm doing something unconventional, very unsafe. To me, it's not unsafe. I feel completely fine because of the way I programmed my mind to think and feel. But I have two months worth of Hemophilia over here, and maybe 1 month of Nuvic over here. I'm not doing something dangerous without taking precautions. It's not like astronauts are going to go blast off to the moon and forget, oh guys, I forgot my spacesuit. The one thing you need to live. I have my meds here. I have my life back here, my source here. So if anything does wrong, I fall off track.
I think that's a good point to say. Like, we're not encouraging other people to do this right now. So don't listen to this and then be like, we are not, this is for, I will just go ahead and say, this is more for entertainment purposes. If you find benefit from it, then great. Me and Jay have the right to do what we want, because I'm doing things as well that I won't talk about, because I'm not trying to spread that message. I don't want people to try to follow exactly what we're doing, but we're leaders, man. And we're doing things differently. And but essentially don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home. Yes,
yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very unsafe, very unconventional, but I have my life sources here. I'm being
Yeah.
safe. I don't advise anyone to do this. I researched about this for about a year. And it's not like I learned it once and went, oh my gosh, look what I can do. You
Yeah.
know, it's a continual change. It's not like you went to the gym once and you were
Yeah.
ripped the way you are now. It's a continual habitual thing
Yeah.
you do every single day. Increase something every day, change something every day, reassociate it, a feeling or an emotion with something new every single day. If you research this stuff, which nobody even does, I share these links, I talk about it. Everyone does their quick, basic 10-minute search. Oh, well, this is what Joe Blow says, or this is what Google says about him, so this can't be true.
Yeah.
They think click right now and get all the answers to the universe through a 10-minute to 1 hour Google search.
Yeah.
Wow. You should have told that to the NASA scientists. All you had to do was research how to fly to the moon or research how to fly to Mars for 1 hour. There's your answers. No, it's not that easy. It takes time to implement philosophy and quantum mechanics and apply it within the real world. With anything takes time. You go to school for 1 day to become a lawyer. You got your 1 day done. Are you a lawyer yet? No, you have 4 more years to 8 more years of education and practice before you can say you're a lawyer. So it's not like I just read this 1 day and said, oh, look, hey guys, did you know this? It's got to be true. No, I researched it. I've even questioned it myself too. I would be a fool if I didn't question it myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I just saw it and said, you know what, this is what it is, I would be a fool. No, I had to not believe it myself too.
Yeah.
But I've always had unlimited beliefs my whole life. So on my aspect, while other people say it's impossible, I think to myself, is it illogical? Doesn't matter if it's illogical. It doesn't hurt nobody. It's not against the law. It's not immoral. So all it is a different way of thinking. And a lot of people just can't change the way they think. They are stuck on one line, stuck in one box, stuck in one construct, one matrix, and they're just stuck there, and they can't get out because of the conditioning of how we're conditioned to think.
Yeah, and
our brains are conditioned to think in one certain aspect, and we don't know how to break free from that at all.
I wouldn't mind seeing you in the future, creating content because I feel like you and I were so, I would say we're more advanced than a normal person in this topic and subject. So I think it'd be kind of cool if you started creating content, showing people how easy it really is to be intentional and, how to do certain meditation practices and stuff like that. Because even if, that first step isn't, oh, I'm going to go 0 to 100, having hemophilia to no hemophilia, you can still within a month go from depressed to happy, or, and there's still so many amazing benefits to what you're doing. I wouldn't mind seeing you teaching people simple practices that are practices, not simple. I wouldn't say simple, but just, practices that help improve your life like that. Because to us it's easier, but to some people they have no idea how to do stuff like this. So,
and that's why I think people combat me so much, which is okay. It's not like all of the world's incredible names that we know have all had people combating them.
Absolutely.
But yet still where they are, they're still well known, even though they had people coming at them all directions. Don't listen to them. Phony.
Yeah, like we're talking, we've got Elon Musk talking about having civilization up in Mars. You know what I'm saying? Like, So,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
like, so I mean, in 20 years, are we going to be taking vacations to Mars instead of vacations to Florida? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 10 years ago, if somebody would have said that, they would, you know, hang you and tell you you're a freaking psychopath. And now,
Oh, right.
because of what Elon Musk has been able to accomplish with, you know, Tesla and the other endeavors that he has, like now people believe him. They're like, well,
Right.
this guy is right. You know, maybe he can do it. So it always takes that one person to keep on pushing that limit. Just like the one
That's
story that a lot of people use with, is his name Roger Bannister or something? He's like,
4 minute mile. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So like nobody could beat that record, but all of a sudden here comes this one guy, beats the record, and then after he does it, then how many people follow suit and also run the 4 minute mile, right? Like
I think
just
within the
because he
next year,
changed the mindset.
1,200. Yep.
He changed the mindset. Everyone was like, oh, you can only go here. He's like, no, 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 you can actually go here. And then everyone's like, oh, it like broke open the floodgates. It's like, I can do
Right.
so. It's like, and that's what you're doing. You're raising the bar. You're breaking down that ceiling where people are with people's limited thinking. So I think it's, you know, that's exciting, man.
And it's not that he broke the 4 minute mile. What what do you do? Scientists, health professionals would begin to explain to people why it was physically impossible for the human body to propel itself that fast. They
Yeah.
explained that the heart would explode, just stop working.
Yeah.
That was their belief. So it was impossible to run the 4 minute mile,
Yeah.
but the word impossible implies never to be accomplished.
Yeah.
That's what impossible means. So we say things are impossible all the time, but yet we seem to be accomplishing them.
Yeah.
So they were never
Absolutely, man.
impossible to begin with.
Yeah.
Just not accomplished yet. The word impossible, I think we need to throw out of our vocabulary entirely.
Yeah.
It limits yourself, and it limits what we can accomplish.
Yeah. So I'm gonna wrap up the podcast here in a little bit. I think there's a lot of good information. I'm gonna put all of your links on how to get a hold of you to ask you questions. You know, one of the things that the reason why I created this podcast was because I've had so many amazing opportunities to meet amazing people like yourself. And I think it's time to showcase these people, or all these individuals, and your stories and your, you know, how you've overcome adversity. So, you know, as we're wrapping this up, you know, if you're talking to the next generation of leaders right now, you get an opportunity to share one message to them. What would that be right now?
Excellent question, and I don't even have to think about this. I already know. Change every feeling of your hemophilia pain, every bleed pain you have, every single pain. Change that feeling of pain to love. Choose to feel love every time you feel pain from a bleed. It took me a while, but for the longest time, my ankles were giving me such problems, such problems, such problems. I started this work and I just thought, you know what? Where's the harm in changing every single pain I have to feelings of love? So I started to do it. And all I'm doing is saying, ooh, it's pain. Oh, I feel love. Great, cool.
Wow,
It's
man.
not breaking
Awesome.
the box. It's only weird. That is it. But
Oh, I love that advice, man.
feeling love, just changing it to love. Why the hell not? You know what happens when you go, oh, a bleed, oh, Joshua, motherfucker, you pull out your handicap card, as you said, to become a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
But you don't have to. There's no law that says,
Yep.
oh, you feel pain, you have
Yeah,
to be a dick.
we can choose joy. We can choose love. We can choose happiness.
Exactly.
We have a choice. So I love that, Jay. That's awesome, man. I hope people really take that message to heart.
I hope it really helps. And the last time I physically saw you, I was on stage crying,
Yeah.
wanting to end my life.
Yeah, man.
And I haven't felt depressed or suicidal this past year ever since doing this work. I just feel great.
Man. Same with me. I kept on getting the same position. I mean, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, I checked myself into, rehab, and because of feelings of suicide and stuff. And it's just like,
I've done that too.
So it's like, I think I think what we've done is we're like, okay, like, because we go through it and then we overcome it, and then we go through it and then we overcome it. And it kind of just like keeps on being a cycle. But I think what we're doing is like, what's making us successful is we never stop looking for the answer. You know, we got back up, and we're like, and I truly believe in this life, when you search for something, you're going to find it. And I think that's what you and I are both doing. And so, yeah. So guys, give Jay a follow. He's an awesome mentor, somebody who's very insightful mentally, and you know, he's in tune with his body, and I think there's so much to learn from that. So give him a follow, guys, and hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks a lot, Jay. I appreciate you, man. So
thank you, man, so much. I'm grateful to have this experience here.
Yeah, I really hope that people kind of change their view now, looking at all this stuff, you know.
I'm hoping, because if they can listen, you know, if they see you, I'm talking to you, they're going to be like, oh, we know him. And then they're going to hear this. They're going to hear, you know, they're going to hear there's more science behind it, some more logical.
And it's completely different when you get to hear your passion, see your passion, you know, see how it's really changed you, as opposed to just writing it, you know, on a post or something. So this is the opportunity that I'm really glad that people are going to get to see this side of you. So thanks, Jay, man. I appreciate it, brother.